It's very clear. I ain't talking about none of us. None of us, okay? Y'all come to the front. We're not doing it. But if you're going to do it, the world, the whole world will collectively thank you. Okay? There will be a statue created in your honor, okay?
I have a message for all of you, my fellow Americans. This is very important, so please consider it and discuss. I'm out here wearing a sign that says, once the military to them, no veteran left behind, best benefits. Front and back, that's what my sign says. And
I also left with a promise from my country that if I would serve the Army, if I would defend the Constitution against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, that when the rubber hit the road and it was time for my country to take care of me, that's exactly what they would do. It's becoming apparent that nobody is coming to save your vets and your soldiers. It's becoming apparent. But this is a public service announcement. There are a group of soldiers, a band of brothers that I belong to. But all of them are not as cool, calm, and collected as I am. There's a group of brothers that will pop off because they take the words duty, honor, integrity, selfless service, courage to heart. There are a group of brothers and sisters that feel some type of way.
Right now, the Trump administration is trying to cut the VA, frontline workers, and let billionaires steal our health care. So billionaires can make more money while veterans sit on wait list.
A man who told the country over and over again, you said it to your people, I love veterans. I care for veterans. And what you've done in the last 2 months is turn your back on every veteran, and that's a shame.
This is a president who campaigned on protecting, cherishing, valuing veterans. There's been no such consideration given to veterans within the federal government.
That's exactly right. They're saying one thing and doing another. And you ask me how I'm doing, because it's like every day we're getting another body blow to the soul of America. And here we have not even a public announcement, but a leaked memo that the new VA secretary, who's a pretty radical guy, is now going to lay off 83,000 people at the VA. 25% of them are veterans. Meanwhile, as you cut into the federal government, 1/3 of all of those cuts are veterans. We got the unemployment rate down in the beginning of the year to just over 4%, historic low. We've been fighting for 20 years to get the veterans unemployment rate down. This is going to blow it up. And that's the actual effect of what they are doing will have. No matter what they say, watch what they're doing. And right now, the flamethrower that is Doge and Elon Musk is coming straight for the VA. I think they're making a bit of a miscalculation because veterans are fighting back.
Hey more people, Gracie here once again. I am hoping that you're doing all right from wherever you're watching this from, and hopefully God has protected you and preserved you very well. I do appreciate all the people that support me on here and the members. Thank you so very much, you guys, for supporting exclusively. And as always, we're back with another interesting episode. It looks like veterans are trying to send a message. And you know what? One of the most interesting thing is most of the people that voted for Trump, and now that the leopard is eating their face, they are coming out with such strong messages, and they want to take him out. These are not my words, but I found a lot of clips here on, social media rotating, and I decided to come and share them on here. But guess what? Black people that are in the service, they're like, you know what? We hope you stand up and do it because we are not going to do it. Why don't we watch these clips together, come back and talk about it? But don't forget to subscribe to the channel and let me know what you think in the comment section about these episodes that I keep dropping.
The Trump administration plans to cut 80,000 employees from Veterans Affairs. This is an agency that provides much needed health care, including mental health care. The VA's chief of staff said that they were aiming to return to 2019-like staffing levels, which was under 400,000, which means that they have to cut tens of thousands of employees. The memo provided to the staff told them to get ready for an agency-wide reorganization to resize and tailor the workforce. Sorry, it is crazy windy, like we have a tornado watch. to the mission and revised structure. It also calls for the agency to work with the White House Department of Government Efficiency to move out aggressively while taking a disciplined and pragmatic approach to the Trump administration's goals. Veterans have already been speaking out about all of these cuts, which have included a few thousand employees and hundreds of contracts. And guys, more than 25% of the VA's employees are veterans.
I have a message for all of you, my fellow Americans. This is very important, so please consider it and discuss. I'm out here wearing a sign that says, once the military takes out Trump, we must honor them. No veteran left behind. Best benefits. Front and back, that's what my sign says. And I really implore you all, please, if you have friends and family in the military, we must plead with them to do what must be done. They do not serve a king. They must remember their oath. And we will build statues in their names. We will name our children after them, and we will help them like we've never helped veterans before. Who's with me?
I left the United States military with this, and this, a DD-214. I also left with a promise from my country that if I would serve the United States Army, if I would defend the Constitution against all enemies, both foreign and domestic, that when the rubber hit the road and it was time for my country to take care of me, that's exactly what they would do. It's becoming apparent that nobody is coming to save your vets and your soldiers. It's becoming apparent. But this is a public service announcement. There are a group of soldiers, a band of brothers that I belong to. But all of them are not as cool, calm, and collected as I am. There's a group of brothers that will pop off because they take the words duty, honor, integrity, selfless service, courage to heart. There are a group of brothers and sisters that feel some type of way about our elected officials reneging on the things that our country promised us. Yeah, you got to think long and hard before you bother the band of brothers and sisters. You have to think long and hard because betrayal is almost insurmountable when it comes to a vet. I know them. I am a part of them. I am their sister in arms. And they won't take it lightly. Woke up this morning and y'all decided to fire 80,000 employees from the Veterans Affairs Department. This is not a fight y'all want.
This is a president who campaigned on protecting, cherishing, valuing veterans. There's been no such consideration given to veterans within the federal government.
That's exactly right. They're saying one thing and doing another. And you ask me how I'm doing, I'm pissed off. And veterans around this country are pissed off, and Americans around this country are pissed off because it's like every day we're getting another body blow to the soul of America. And here we have not even a public announcement, but a leaked memo that the new VA secretary, who's a pretty radical guy, is now going to lay off 83,000 people at the VA. 25% of them are veterans. Meanwhile, as you cut into the federal government, 1/3 of all of those cuts are veterans. We got the unemployment rate down in the beginning of the year to just over 4%, historic low. We've been fighting for 20 years to get the veterans unemployment rate down. This is going to blow it up. And that's the actual effect of what they are doing will have. No matter what they say, watch what they're doing. And right now, the flamethrower that is Doge and Elon Musk is coming straight for the VA.
Is there blowback? Obviously, there's blowback from veterans who've been fired. What about families of veterans, people who voted for Donald Trump in veterans communities? What have you been seeing?
Yeah, I'm seeing it come from all sides. And where I've really been seeing it come from is inside the VA for the last couple of months. They're demoralized. They feel beaten down. There's no clarity. There's no certainty. Everybody's waiting for the Doge guillotine to drop and get an email in the middle of the night to find out that they're fired. These are people who are disabled veterans. These are people who've honorably served their country and want to continue to serve their country. but they're also fighters. And I've said this before, I think they're making a bit of a miscalculation because veterans are fighting back. There are going to be protests starting as early as next week. We're recruiting independent veterans who've been laid off and fired to run for office this year. We've gotten over 200 of them already that are interested. And we're going to organize like we always do. We're going to fight back for what is sacred. And I think we're going to be a lead element for this entire country, not just for veterans, but for teachers and everybody else who needs fighters right now.
Right now, the Trump administration is trying to cut the VA. Frontline workers and let billionaires steal our health care. Veterans, we're under attack. Last week, 1,400 workers got fired illegally. 22 of them were my colleagues at Hines VA Hospital. Some of them didn't even get a real notice. All they got was this, an email with X's where the date should be and no name. That's how little they think of people and our veterans in this country and that serve our country. They're slashing staff, crushing unions, and selling out the VA for what? So billionaires can make more money while veterans sit on wait list. Worse, they'll get no treatment. Our president was asleep while Musk was at the wheel. Do you know what happens to a service member when they fall asleep when they're on duty? Veterans don't trust him. He's not one of us. We're not about to sit back and take the SEIU. We're fighting back. We're organizing and we're taking action. We're not going to back down.
This is going to be a hot take with zero cuts because I just want it to be unfiltered. And I want to be so fucking clear that we're fucked as a country. We are. Most of you that follow me don't know that I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I served in 5th Special Forces Group out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I have 2 deployments. And majority of my friends and the folks that I served with still support Donald Trump to this day. And if that doesn't make your stomach sick, I don't know what will. It's insane. And the problem is so many people say, well, I just don't pay attention or I don't have time to pay attention. Well, guess what? Now's the time to start fucking paying attention. If you're a veteran, this video is for you. Go look at what's happening with the VA right now. Go look at what's happening with VA services, right? I haven't gotten paid from the VA, and they owe me money. I haven't gotten paid in over a month, and they just keep telling me it's an administrative delay. That's what they keep telling me. It's bullshit. He cut off funding. Go check it out. He cut off funding. He also stopped them from any new hires. They can't hire anybody. A buddy of mine, his wife, she works at the VA hospital in South Florida, and she said that there was people waiting in line to get a job, and they just cut it off. No one's getting hired. Veteran services is going down. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He doesn't give a fuck about me. He gives a fuck about it being an oligarchy. Take that a step further, okay? If you served in the Army, this motherfucker, his press secretary just said yesterday, that the U.S. Constitution is unconstitutional. What the fuck does that even mean? How can it be unconstitutional if there's not a constitution to bounce it against? The whole premise here is if he can get you and every other MAGA loyalist and half the fucking country to agree that the U.S. Constitution isn't valid, then he can run for a 3rd term. He can run for a 4th term and a 5th term because the U.S. Constitution isn't valid. Therefore, he gets to make up the fucking rules as he goes. You gotta fucking... Guys, take the fucking blinders off. You've got to take... And if you're a fucking politician and a veteran, you disgust me more than anything. More than anything. And if you're a Democrat politician and you're a veteran, you're the fucking worst of them all. Because you have the fucking power. You have the power right now that we don't have. And you're doing dick with it. You're just sitting there. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Get your head out of your fucking ass and do something. You guys are supposed to hold the line. And when you can't, this whole fucking thing becomes chaos. It becomes chaos. And then it turns to the citizens. And you don't want that. And we don't want that. And nobody fucking wants that. Now you got Canada saying they're going to cut off power to all the red states. Jesus, they have the fucking ability. And he says, too bad, I'm not backing down on tariffs. Let's see what happens in the next 6 months. You think he's going to do well for the economy? He just said, well, you're going to have to suffer for a little while, but Americans will understand when prices go up. They'll understand. That's what your boy Donald Trump just fucking said. He said that. He knows he's not bringing down prices. He knows he's not. He's helping the oligarchy. He's helping himself become a billionaire with his other billionaire friends. He's helping himself become richer and richer and richer at our expense. And you guys fucking voted him into office. And that's fine. We are where we are. But there's an impeachment process for a fucking reason. And we better start using it. And we better start using it fast. And what do you think? You think, oh, I'm going to put my money in the stock market like everybody else is, and then I'm going to become wealthy as hell. No. What the fuck do you think happens when we don't have any trade partners? What do you think happens to our stock market? Our stock market is largely driven by external forces outside this country. And you might be like, well, most of the big companies are here in the United States. That's true. But guess what? They manufacture a lot of their shit outside the country, right? And they sell a lot of their shit outside the country. And what happens when we put tariffs on everything and then other countries retaliate with tariffs and then we can't sell our shit outside the country and we can't manufacture our shit outside the country without bringing it in for a massive fucking cost? Oh yeah, maybe we'll bring some jobs back, sure. But then it's still a massive fucking cost. The dollar is going to devalue. It's just, you don't understand. Like, think logically for one fucking minute. This guy needs to get out. He needs to get out. We need to get him out. If you're a politician, I'm urging you to call for articles of impeachment. He's already done enough illegal things. It's been 2 weeks and he's already done enough to be impeached. Fucking do it. And this time, I don't want some Merrick Garland, fucking Jack Smith, sissy ass sitting on their fucking hands, taking 4+ years to bring an indictment. I don't want that shit. Fucking try him next week. Impeach him, find him guilty, and if you do, I want the fucking trial in a week. I want it in a week. This is fucking insane. It's insane. This dude should have never been allowed to run. He fucking incited an insurrection against our country. He literally tried to take away the votes of half the fucking country that voted for Joe Biden. When he incited that insurrection, he literally was trying to take back the country by power. What does that mean? Well, that means that he was saying fuck you to everyone who voted against him, and your votes don't matter. Only my opinion matters, and I think I should have won. That's what he's saying. He literally tried to take away our democracy by force, and yet he's somehow still in the fucking White House. From one vet to another, wake the fuck up. I can't live like this. My family does not deserve to live like this. You don't deserve to live like this. None of us do. Wake the fuck up.
We're here today because Elon Musk, Trump, and Doge want the American people to believe that the work federal workers do doesn't matter. All right. That the American people don't deserve the rights and benefits and programs that federal workers make possible. Yeah. That we don't deserve accessible health care, affordable housing, disaster relief, safe railways, and skies. They want us to believe in the divides of race and gender and political party. We know that the only divide that matters is the one between working people and the 1%. Yeah.
Veterans, we're going to lose our health care, okay, in some capacity. Veterans are going to lose their jobs from the VA and other places that they work in the federal government. His spokesman said that maybe they don't deserve a job right now. Veterans are being told that they're not qualified, that they're not this, they're not that. And to be honest with you, at this point, for what most of you voted for, it's what you really deserve. It's what you really deserve, because you voted for the idea that you didn't want to vote for a woman. That's the first thing. For many of you are sexist. A lot of you didn't want to vote because she's a black woman. Some of you are racist. Let's just be honest. And then the other part to it is Project 2025 and all the documents in which Donald Trump put out said we're going to get rid of veterans in the federal workforce. We're going to cut VA benefits. We're going to cut VA health care. And it's happening. So there's no reason to go to Washington to march. Doug Collins don't care. Donald Trump don't care. Elon Musk certainly doesn't care. Pete Hegseth doesn't even care. For them to put a National Guard major over the whole DOD, that shows you that they don't care. A Fox News Weekend host. He spent more time in the news as a Fox News Weekend host as he has in the military. So at this point, hey, just take your losses and move on. And unfortunately, people like me who actually read and saw what was going on, we all just gonna have to suffer together for these next, probably the rest of our life, because you're probably never gonna get back the same health care and the same benefits that we had. So, you know, in the military, they told us to drive on. It's time for many of you to drive on, because this is what you voted for. And even if they had another vote today, you would still vote for it, because that's just who many of you are. And hey, it is what it is. And God bless us all. Good luck. And we'll see you down the road. Have a good day.
Nearly 6,000 veterans have already lost their jobs and been terminated from federal service at an unprecedented rate, and will all enter the civilian workforce with less protections. While my time is limited, I just wanted to say this. This isn't subjective. This is evidence. This is evidence. In less than 2 months, this administration has proved itself to be the most anti-veteran administration ever. What's going on is just not right on so many levels.
Yeah, you called it the most anti-veterans administration in history.
It is. I mean, there's almost 6,000 veterans that are terminated. It was just reported today that 80,000 VA employees are going to be terminated. They have the most amount of veterans. It shows you that the billionaires are the ones who matter, you know, and they're going to step on anybody to get them what they want. So it's unfortunate, but a lot of people are going to suffer.
I mean, Nicole, you will remember when Donald Trump became the first president to do something like besmirched the legacy of a war hero, John McCain. Mm-hmm. And I think people thought, oh, maybe that kind of disgusting treatment of someone who has served our country in the most tangible, visceral, self-sacrificing way, maybe that's an anomaly. Maybe he will move past that. This is evidence, the treatment of veterans, right, which was once the third rail in American politics. You would never see a Republican Party targeting veterans, targeting the VA, having veterans come to town halls and say, this is the most anti-veteran administration in American history. The statements Trump made about John McCain, the statements he's made about people who serve, who were wounded in combat, he, as someone who got out of serving this country because of bone spurs, that was not an anomaly, that was an indicator. And you are now seeing the harvest of those seeds. The treatment of veterans is not going unnoticed by veterans themselves. There were a lot of them that spoke up last night, and they feel the same way.
There is no way in hell I'm telling you to do it. But if you decide to do it, we got you. I mean, we got you, your children, and your children's children. We got you. I'm not telling you to do it. But if you're going to do it, make sure you get the whole clique, okay? They all twinning them. They all the same, okay? They quadruplets. I'm not telling you to do it. But if you're going to do it, the whole world will collectively thank you, okay? There will be a statue created in your honor, okay? But I'm not telling you to do it. By any means, don't do it. There are a lot of places you could do it, though. There are a lot of places you could do it if you decided to do it. And I'll make this very clear. I ain't talking about none of us. None of us, okay? Y'all come to the front. We're not doing shit. We're resting. So if anyone decides to do it, we got you. We got you. But I'm not saying do it. I'm tired, man. I'm tired.
You guys let me know what you think with all these messages. I don't think these people are joking. I think these are pretty serious messages that need to be given all attention. Hopefully the man that is in office listens, because it looks like he has hardened his heart. I don't know why this man really reminds me so much of Pharaoh, that hardened his heart when God was telling him to let God's people go. And that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like this man is hardening his heart. So hopefully he pays attention, because all revolutions start like this. He suppressed different groups of people, and they started coming up with their voices, and it looks like he didn't care. And now that it is touching the backbone of the states of America, which are the veterans, the people that have fought the battles that they were not supposed to fight, because in the first place, these are enemies that the US creates for themselves. They attack people for nothing, and they say everybody's against them. What a bully. Anyway, these are people that need to be taken care of. Allegedly, from one of the articles that I read, it says that he may not cut off the benefits or the health care, which I highly doubt, because how many things does he say? And then within a few days, he goes and does exactly the opposite of what he said. He said he's not gonna cut Medicaid. He did. He say he loves veterans. Now he's literally firing something like 80, thousand or people that were working. Like, he wants to undo everything that was done by Democrats, even if it was good. He wants to undo it. But the bad part is he is not putting in place solutions or side Bs to help the people that are being, supported by these programs and services. And that's very, very much ridiculous. Either way, if he's saying that he's not gonna cut the benefits, which is like, education opportunities, nursing homes, especially those veterans that have been, funded by the government. Of course, there's more rehabilitation to those people that be suffering from PTSD or something like that, from wars and stuff like that. He says he doesn't want to cut that. But the thing is, even if he doesn't cut that, that's not enough to cater for the lives of these people. These are jobs that have been very, very much legit. And it's so crazy that people have to even come out and say, we unfortunately have to do what we need to do, because he is literally putting people that are advising him. These are not people that have been on the forefront to fight. Yeah, that's why a lot of veterans are like, we don't know him. Especially, to be honest, it's Elon who is the one that is in the lead right now about everything. And these are people that cannot relate to the struggles that veterans go through. And I think also I must say that this is not just a veterans fight. I feel like it had to happen to them for them to come and start really, really, putting the fire and pushing this. But I feel like at some point, like we said, majority of them support him, and if nothing really happened, none of them would come. They would literally leave everything burn. They would literally leave everybody to suffer without them coming out to say anything. But they shouldn't just be fighting for themselves. They should be fighting for the United States, for the people. Again, this shouldn't be happening to these people, because they have really served their country and they deserve this. And for the veterans that are watching me, yes, thank you for your service to the United States. But I hope you guys stand up and really, really do something. These messages have been sent. Hopefully, the man takes them serious. But if he doesn't, then I think it's going to be time. Because, again, this term is described in my local language as Mpawo Atalikaba. None will be spared from crying. Everybody will test it. Just like Michelle Obama said that everybody will test the ugliness of this man in office. Otherwise, what do you people think? Put your thoughts in the comment section and subscribe to the channel if you have not. I will definitely see you in another amazing video. Until then, my name is Gracie and I love you. Bye.